Hi, welcome to Draw Tip Tuesday. My name is Koosje Koenen and I love drawing. And I have this sketchbook practice, which is basically a way of visual journaling about my days. And today I want to show you a sketchbook that I filled recently. It's this beautiful handmade sketchbook. Let's dive in. This beautiful handmade sketchbook was made by John. He attended one of my workshops and he gave this book to me. He made it himself and there's watercolor paper in it. And of course I started with my contact details just in case I would lose my sketchbook and people can contact me. Tempera stick and watercolor pencil, I think, maybe also black crayon. A terrible drawing, but that's what happens. And then at least once you make a terrible drawing in a fairly new sketchbook, let's get it over with, you know? Then you can just move on and keep going in the sketchbook because you messed up already. Selfies, also not very beautiful drawings, but having fun and also getting to know the watercolor paper because there's two different kinds of papers in this sketchbook with different textures. Here's an urban sketch, taking a break, playing with proportions and also adding writing. A nice moment. Look at those feet, I like that little detail of this drawing. Visiting a cafe where my husband's band was playing. I tried all kinds of approaches to capture the band, which of course is quite tricky because they move all the time. Here I drew people from online resources. This one might be familiar to you because I used it for a Draw Tip Tuesday video. Early signs of spring in Amersfoort, where I live. People on the train, bent over, very focused on their work. This one you might also be familiar with because I did it during a Draw Tip Tuesday video, drawing together with Mike Lowry. Drawing from a higher angle, different perspective, always fun. Drawing in a cafe. This is a view I've drawn more often from. I've been sitting at the same table a few times now at that cafe. In the evening on the couch. Ugh, again, one of those drawings that I'd rather not look at because the materials didn't quite work out on the paper and I didn't have much time nor energy. Well, let's not spend more time on it. Here's another one, not much energy, but still at least a little bit of mark making for self-care. My studio and journaling about it. The other side of the studio, after reorganizing it a little bit. Bits of collage. And also some snippets in a cafe. Drawing together with drawing pals outside on a sunny day. And these are my drawing pals. More drawing that day. Lots of people out because it was sunny. And that is on the same day as well. Sketch collage or snippets, whatever you want to call it. More cafe drawing. I like how these hands are out of proportion. And then I also added a few things that I overheard because eavesdropping is something that is allowed when you are working in your sketchbook. More drawing on the train with colored pencil. This was such a nice moment. I'm so glad that I added this text to my drawing because now I will never forget. A friend of mine needed to go to the hospital for some checkups and I went with her. And while I waited, I did a quick drawing. She was already back before I even finished. fun, fun, fun with frames and a limited palette. This is just an evening in a living room, and it seems like a whole exciting story while it's not. It's nothing, but still it is. Wonderful break outside in the front yard with a cup of coffee and my sketchbook. What a beautiful moment in the sun. And here's another one, frames and a limited color palette. And I did this during one of my online mini workshops. You are welcome to join next time. Anybody can join, doesn't matter if you are a beginner or well advanced. We have fun drawing together 90 minutes. I will come up with an idea, a theme, and an assignment for all of us to work on. And I will put the link to the next mini workshop in the description below this video. And that is the end of this sketchbook. I really enjoyed working in this one because it was such a special gift also. Every sketchbook has its own challenge, whether it's a paper like this one, or the format, or anything else that is for you something new or something that you need to experiment with to get to know it. And that, my friend, is what is so beautiful about the creative habit. You get to experiment and play and discover and broaden your horizon and make your comfort zone a little bit wider with every drawing that you make. So here's your assignment for today. Open your sketchbook, make a drawing. Do it with a material that is maybe a little bit challenging for you. Just do it. Push yourself, and you will see that while you're busy working with it, you might find some struggles, some challenges, but you are learning as you do it. And maybe after that drawing, you have actually broadened your skill just a little bit, or at least your comfort zone. And if nothing else, you made a drawing, you had some fun. I mentioned my mini workshops earlier in this video, and you are very welcome to join. Anybody can join, whether you're a beginner or more skilled, it doesn't matter. We will just draw together, and I will make sure that there's a link you can follow to join one of the workshops. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also check out my Patreon page, because a lot of stuff is happening there too that maybe you don't want to miss. I'll see you next week. Bye!